Hi there, and welcome to today's vlog. Well, I'm recording this in the open air, and the reason for that is that we're on holiday. We're in the lovely village of Askrigg. Askrigg is the place where the original recording of All Creatures Great and Small was based, and the place that they used as the base for the vet's practice is here in Askrigg. So lots of memories from that time of watching that great series. Incidentally, the current series, the new series of Old Creatures, is being based apparently in another village in the Yorkshire Dales, not too far from here. So we're on holiday, and I've been doing a bit of reading as we've been out and about as well. Yesterday we went on the famous Settle to Carlisle Railway, which is one of the most picturesque railway journeys in the country. Unfortunately, the sunshine, which we've had for several days, suddenly stopped shining yesterday, so it was cloudy and a bit wet, but we had a lovely time nevertheless. I've been doing a bit of reading now. When Sue's Aunt Joan died a couple of years ago, she left among her possessions a series of books by an author called Val Wood. Val Wood is an author based in East Yorkshire, where I'm from originally, and she writes historical fiction. So Aunt Joan left this whole series of books by Val Wood. In fact, we used to buy her one each Christmas, the latest Val Wood books. She used to love reading them. Many of the stories based around where she was living at the time. And so when she died, we had these books. Three of my sisters have read through the whole series. I'm in the process of doing so, and one of the ones I brought on holiday is this one. It's called No Place for a Woman, and it's about a lady called Lucy, who became one of the first women doctors. Well, it's a fictional story, but it's based on the struggles that women had in days gone by to be accepted into the medical profession. So she and her friend Edie, who was a nurse, a nursing sister, went out in the story to France to help those who've been severely wounded through the horrors of the war. It's lovely. It's a great book. Really enjoyed reading it. But what came home to me is she writes really evocatively about the terrible suffering and the distress and the trauma of all those families who lost loved ones. The telegrams that were sent to say a husband, a brother, a dad being killed or missing in the war, and just reading about the horrors of what men, particularly, but families suffered in the First World War, reminded me of what's going on right now in Ukraine. And so there are lots and lots of Ukrainian and Russian families who are hearing news of loved ones being lost, of being families torn apart, properties destroyed, millions having to flee to foreign lands, and the terrible, terrible suffering. And it's all because of the way that we human beings can't seem to work things out. We so often have to resort to violence. In fact, what happened at the Oscars this weekend with Will Smith getting up and smacking Chris Rock because he felt that his wife had been assaulted. It's just a small symbol of the way that we human beings so often fall into violence, but the suffering that comes from wars, and it almost made me feel a bit guilty for being here on holiday, enjoying this beautiful countryside, the peace. You might hear the birds singing, while families and so many are being torn apart, suffering the loss of loved ones in Ukraine. And it just reminds us that the Bible tells us that we should always be thankful, count our blessings, be grateful in every situation, but also, even if life is good for us, we should remember those who are going through trauma and sadness and despair and despondency, and do what we can to reach out through prayer, through other means. So let's be thankful for all that we have. Enjoy what God has given us, but remember, never forget those who suffer so much, those who are in great need right at this moment. So thanks so much for listening. God bless you.